Hello? Just want to make sure everything's all good. Let me just move this down here. There we go. This up. Perfect. Just copy the link. Boom. There we go. How is everyone? Hello, hello, hello. Hello, Alan. Hello, Darren. Hello, hello, hello. I just thought I'd do a quick live tonight, doing something that I haven't really ran through in a while, which is one, going over Bitcoin macro, sort of what's going on the higher time frames, going over that, and then just looking over what's gone on last week and what we can look for going into next week. I'll do my full main analysis for gold going into next week tomorrow night, as I normally do on a Sunday. But tonight I just thought would go on to Bitcoin and look at the higher time frames, because Bitcoin, normally its higher time frames are very, very accurate and not easy to predict, but a lot simpler to predict as well. And just thought I'd come on, answer any questions as well. We got a cool few things which have changed recently in the group, with Brandon doing the steps thing, the sort of how the group is. We've got the new challenge coming up as well, and something which I'm gonna be launching very shortly as well is the YouTube sort of community place as well, where certain sections of videos, if you're if a question comes up or you're confused about something, you can go into literally a community section on YouTube and ask any questions and communicate with everyone in there as well, which is really, really cool. So looking to open that up as well. Nah, all good, Lady H. You weren't caught. Let me just grab this. Sorry, you weren't causing a stir at all. Like not at all. These things happen when you've got a lot of people in a group. But you weren't causing a stir at all. Hello, Colin. Hello, Luke. Hello, Raj. Hi, Max. All good, back from Devon, and my 18k steps, just 3k today as I spent 4 hours traveling. Oh, nice, Andy. It's really, really good to see a lot of people taking part in that steps challenge. For those who haven't seen, inside the community, we've got Brandon, who's hosting basically like a steps challenge. So just competing with each other, trying to do more steps. And this does it sounds like, okay, how does this relate to trading? But I think getting outside and just walking a bit can really help your clarity of your mindset. It's good for you. It's good for your health. And if you're really, if you're healthy outside the charts and you getting your steps and everything, when it comes to the charts, you're going to be a lot better. If you just like sort of molding all day in work, you're not really moving around, and then you come home and you're not really moving around, then when you're at the charts, you're going to feel sluggish, and you're not going to feel as sharp as you can do if you're really if you're moving around and getting those steps in. So I think it really is good, obviously on the charts and off the charts. So I really, really, really like that. And again, guys, anything trading related, any questions, anything like that, please don't hesitate to let me know. We're going to go over Bitcoin today. We're going to do some sort of higher time frame analysis, just looking at that. I think it's a great day to do it. And then tomorrow we'll be doing the normal analysis at 8 p.m. UK time, where I'm breaking down gold, what I'm looking for going forward on gold. Gold's got some really, really nice, really, really nice setups coming into next week. So I'm looking forward to that. The chat. So react. Okay, Lady H, if you're uncomfortable with anything there, drop me a message and we'll look into it. I think as long as people in the group, we've got a lot of different people now. The main thing is what I said in there is just maintaining that level of respect, which 99.99% of the times everyone is very, very respectful and really, really nice. And so that's the main thing. But if you are uncomfortable with anything, drop me a message and we'll sort of run through. Matty, yeah. My dad vibing to D-Goots in the group. He makes like these AI music. AI music. And they're absolutely hilarious. It's brilliant. So if you haven't listened to that, there's a video of my dad just jamming out to that. I don't know where he's going or what he's doing, but yeah, it's hilarious. I found that so funny. Started to say great idea. Nice, Katie. Really, really nice. The call trade indicator, what's the best I've selected or turned off? Jonathan, great question. I'll pull it up here. The main things that I have on this is I don't have the 4-hour support and resistance levels. So for those who don't know, inside the community, we've got a ColezTrades indicator, which was made by member Tony, who's an absolute beast. And on the indicator, it basically puts on like objective levels of support and resistance, things that I use in my trading. And so it makes it a lot easier to locate them. All you got to do is turn on the indicator. The ones which I don't like, I don't use the 4-hour one. Why don't I use? And now, when you're hearing 4-hour, it sounds like a higher time frame, but in reality, there's so many 4-hour support and resistance levels. There's so many that it can really clutter up your chart. And so I just turn them off. What I do like and what I do really use is daily opens. Daily open is an objective level. Everyone sees it. It's a very strong level. And most days, the daily open gets some sort of reaction. Vast majority of days. So I really like that. Previous daily open is something I always look at as well, mainly for the actual previous day. So if we're trading on Wednesday, the daily open for Tuesday is something which I'm really going to pay a lot of attention to, whereas the daily open from Monday, if we're on Wednesday, isn't as strong. Something I want to keep in mind, but it's not as strong. So daily opens definitely. VWAP closes. Now these are something I've never seen anyone else really use. And what it is when the VWAP closes, it basically shoots up to a new level because the VWAP resets every day. And when the VWAP resets, it creates like this right angle. Having that as a level is also something really, really good. And then I also have daily levels, previous day high, previous day low. Those are the main levels. The main one that I turn off is 4-hour. That's the one which I don't really like using. Nice, Alan. Trump bombing the shit out of Venezuela will make gold fairly unstable. No, given that he said he wants the oil, it could go up for a while. What are your thoughts? Yeah, Eve. So that's a very interesting dynamic, which is what's gone on with Trump in Venezuela. For those who don't know, basically the guy's name it's Mahal or something like this. Basically, he was pretty much a dictator in Venezuela and stopped sending oil barrels. I think he's sending like 2 million barrels. I want to say a month. To the US before he took over. And then when he took over, that basically stopped. The US wants oil, and also they want to uphold democracy around the world. In theory, this goes very deep. And that guy was basically holding up a dictatorship in the country and was forming alliances with China, which is obviously a sensitive topic when it comes to the US. And recently, the US did like a covert mission where they, I think, I think Eve put it lightly, they bombed the shit out of Venezuela, went in and took the president and his wife, and they're currently en route back to New York in the US, and the US has actually taken control of the country until they can find a better fit. Now, in turbulent times, gold does perform exceptionally well, as it's a great store of value and has throughout history, so we can expect further upside from gold. However, it wasn't that turbulent. Like, there wasn't much conflict. It was mainly the US just like stomping over the country and getting what they want, which is, so there was no back and forth. It was just the US did this and then it's done. It still does create unrest in that region, which can obviously have implications on gold, mainly towards the upside. But we are overall still, regardless of that, overall fundamentally bullish on gold over the next few weeks, months, etc. So yeah, it's a very interesting topic to actually look into. If you haven't, or if you've got like the great way to keep up with news and stuff is actually X, Twitter. looking at what's going on to do with the Venezuela stuff is quite interesting, actually. So if you do want to take a look at that, it's pretty interesting. A lot of people have varying opinions on it. Let me know if you've got any unique opinions on that as well, in terms of US, just like, yeah, doing what they want. Hello, Paul. Hello, Katie. Aaron, you find the ColezTrades indicator. It's in the Discord. If you go into the Discord, one of the sections is labeled ColezTrades indicator. If you just click on that, then you can get it on your chart. Question, Max. Please, for someone who's getting into trading, what would you say a decent amount of starting capital is? I mean, whatever you can afford to lose really is the best answer. But when you're first getting into trading, it isn't necessarily about the capital straight away. It's about dialing in the certain like great qualities of a good trader. So regardless of what amount you're starting with, when you do start, focusing on risk management first, dialing in your emotions, coming up with certain rules for yourself. For example, do you perform better during higher volatility times? Do you perform better during lower volatility times? So do you perform better during the London session? Do you perform better during the New York session? Risk management, risking a set amount per trade. So then you understand, like, then you know how much you're risking per trade. Oh. Sorry, my live just went off for a second. Hope it's all good now. But understanding how much you're risking per trade is very important, and something which you can, I'll save you the time doing it, but you can go on to ChatGPT and you can get it to put these things into a graph so you can visibly see it. But even with a slight edge in your system, like a 3 to 5% edge in your system, okay, you can still get very, very unlucky and just lose like a bunch of trades in a row. And if your risk is changing, like it's going between 50 and 150 pounds compared to 90 to 110 pounds, your risk of ruin increases a ton, which is obviously very, very bad. Okay, if you've got a 50% win rate and a 1-to-1 risk to reward, your graph, like your equity, should look like this, really. It should stay very still. If you're risking different amounts in every trade, then it'll be really up and down, which isn't predictable, okay? We want to see nice, predictable equity curves, which look very nice. So risking a set uniform amount per trade is what I think is the best, and just dialing in that risk management. Getting your emotions in check. After a loss, do you tend to perform worse? Okay. If you have a loss on a day, you stop trading for the rest of that day, sorted. If you can get that up to 2 losses, like you have 2 losses and then you stop trading, even better. And things like this, that's things you manage, like that's things you want to dial in. And that is the same regardless of what capital amount you're starting with. And then you can quickly scale up capital once you've got those things dialed in. I do find that people who start with more capital, because when they do dial in those things, they're making good money. It's just easier for them to scale up. If you're starting on a small amount of capital, then A, risk management's just harder, or if you're starting on really low amount, you just can't really do it. And then also, because you're not making that much money, you can end up over risking on trades because you want to make more money. Whereas if you're on a larger amount of capital, chances are you won't run into those same psychological barriers. But that's a really good question. Lady H, within the next few weeks, I'm teasing it, but within the next few weeks, not just yet. No, it's... What do you mean the chickens drinks? Do you mean the chicken drinking water? That sort of analogy? This is on gold, but we're going to rotate it to Bitcoin and do some higher time frame analysis on Bitcoin. I think it's a good opportunity to do it, and then we'll be doing normal gold analysis tomorrow night, ready for next week. So it's going to be should be a really, really nice week actually. I'm looking forward to that. So we'll get into this. Yeah, your analogy. Yeah, the chickens drinking water. Basically, the chickens drinking water was an analogy for a liquidity grab. So a lot of people like to say about liquidity grabs nowadays, as it's just become, it's like the in fashion thing in trading to focus on liquidity, which is, liquidity's amazing. But a chicken's drinking water. If you've, I got this off someone else actually. So it's not an analogy that I came up with. But what he said was basically when a chicken drinks water, they dip their head into the water really quickly and then pull out. That's exactly like a liquidity grab. It dips its head into the water, into the liquidity, grabs it, and then just instantly pulls it back. If you type in a chicken's drinking water, you'll see what I mean. Now, appreciate that, Chris. Sure, mate. I've learned a lot from you so far, so we'll continue. Thank you once again. Nice, mate. I appreciate the message, mate. So on the replied to you. Anyway, do you think it's bad I now a top trading on a set drawdown per day? Do you think it's bad I now top trading on a set drawdown? Matthew, do you mean you have a set drawdown per day? Is that what you're saying, mate? A set drawdown per day is absolutely fine. Like that's good. Thanks, Nico. Appreciate that, Chris. What do you mean by that, Matthew? Let me know, because I think that's really, really good. Yeah, a set drawdown per day. So in terms of set drawdown, like 1 or 2 losses, I think a set pound amount drawdown is basically the same thing as like 1 to 2 losses. I think having that in play is really good. And if me saying if you have a loss, you shouldn't trade for the rest of the day, if that causes some sort of like emotional, I want to trade for the rest of the day, that's not a good mindset to be in. You do not need to trade loads to make a lot of money. I say this so often, but the less you trade, chances are the more profitable you will be. You do not need to take loads of trades in a day at all. Literally a few trades a month. A few trades a month, like 2, 3, 4, 5 trades a month can make you a full-time income. You do not need to trade loads. For people who like flex that they're sending out like 5 to 10 signals a day or something like this, that's not good. 2 bad trades and walk away. Yeah, that's really good. That's class. Do you think it's a bad idea to use a set drawdown per day instead of amount of losses? I mean, if you're risking a set pound amount per trade, then it comes out to the same thing. So for example, if you're risking £100 on each trade, okay, and you say, okay, once I've lost £200, I'm going to walk away, or once I lose 2 trades, I'm going to walk away. It's the same thing, really. With everything you've been teaching us, absolutely brilliant. Appreciate that, Chris. I appreciate that a lot. And again, guys, any trading questions, don't hesitate to drop me a message or leave a comment on here. I'll happily answer. Great start to 2026. We've got a lot of cool things that have happened already, and a lot more coming. Just craziness. So yeah, really, really happy with how things going. Happy to be back at the normal setup as well. Hopefully it looks good, everything sounds good, everything like that. I don't know if my audio is okay. It is on here. Okay, nice. But the reason for this live, I wanted to just hop on, answer any questions. So there was a lot of questions in the Discord, in DMs and everything like that. So I just wanted to come in here, answer any questions live. I think it's higher value to answer questions when, to more people. If someone asks a question, chances are other people have that same question as well. Let me just move this wire around here. Hello, like always. Hello. But yeah, let's zoom out, higher time frame on Bitcoin and see what is going on. I am going to go off that chart. It's too much going on there. Gonna get rid of a few different things. Boom. Gotta go on to the weekly, actually. I do think higher time frame crypto is just so nice to mark up. It's normally very, very clear. So just thought I haven't done my sort of higher time frame Bitcoin analysis in a while, just because Bitcoin's been fairly boring. But I think now is a nice time to do that analysis and come up with a plan going forward, sort of over the next few weeks for Bitcoin. I'm struggling with how far to go back when marking. So do you mean like when coming up with your levels? What actual thing are you marking up, Aaron? And I'll happily go into detail on that. Jordan, what's covering the chart? Can you see the chart? Ah, wait there. I need to remove this. One second. There we go. Let me just move this down so you guys can see everything. There we go. Should be all good now. There we go. Yeah, that's better. Let me move this like this. Move this up. There we go. That should be... Yeah, that looks better now. Okay, perfect. Yeah, that's all good. Yes, levels. So a lot of the time, it doesn't really... When you're going back in time, if a level's been hit, chances are it's not as strong. Now, reason for this is because if we think of a level, all a level is we anticipate orders to be there. That's all any level is, okay? So if we have a level here, a level here, a level here, okay, just imagine like prices sort of floating around here, okay? All of these levels, what we're anticipating, we're not anticipating price to hit the level and just magically come down. That's not what we're saying at all. We're saying that when we hit this level, we anticipate there to be an influx in either buy orders or sell orders at those levels. So when price comes to those levels, if price comes to, for example, this level up here, and we anticipate orders to be there, when we first hit the level, there'll be a lot of orders there. Okay, when we hit the level again, chances are there'll be less orders. When we hit the level again, there'll be less orders, and eventually we'll break through that level. So that's what I mean by a level. Whenever anyone talks about any level, literally support, resistance, supply, demand, anything, okay, what they're on about, what they're saying is that level, I'm anticipating there to be a lot of buy orders at that level if it's support, or I'm anticipating to be a lot of sell orders at that level if it's resistance. That's what they're saying, okay? The more we hit that level, the less of those orders will be there, and therefore the higher likelihood that we do break through that level when we come to it sort of later down the line. But as far as levels which I mark up, the daily open, I look for the daily open on this day and the previous daily open. Those are the main two ones. Fibonacci, they don't matter about time. They either are a legitimate fib level or not a legitimate fib level. Daily and weekly support and resistance, I just look at the ones above and below price. You don't need to mark up like the full chart. You only need to mark up 1-2 levels below price, 1-2 levels above price. You don't need to mark up like the full chart in one go. I hope that makes sense. Yeah, exactly, Chris. Everything's liquidity orders in the market. That's what it all comes down to. Double tap. If you do enjoy the live, by the way, double tap on the screen just helps spread the live around. And if you do have any questions, please don't hesitate to drop me a message. Let me know. Drop a comment on here. If you've got any questions regarding the private group, regarding what I'm doing at the chart, anything like that, then just let me know. Inside the private group, you do gain access to signals, analysis, courses, full community, like everything, live trading sessions, Discord, like everything. So let me know if you've got any questions on that as well. From start to now, about over 6 years now, probably coming up to 7 years. So I originally started trading and got into it through crypto. There was a guy, I've said this story a few times, but there was a guy in my school, and he he did some really sketchy things with crypto. When we were like, I don't even know, like 16, he had like 500,000 in crypto. He was a very, very, very weird guy. Very weird. And he knows he was a weird guy. Very strange. And I heard about crypto through him. So then I got hooked. I found it extremely interesting. And so all my attention went on that. And I started investing in crypto. Then, obviously, the natural route from investing is leverage trading. So then I went into trading. I made a lot of money at the time. And I did very well. And then I did not so well. I think like most people in trading. And then basically I thought, okay, I'm going to rebuild from this. I'm actually going to lock in. I'm actually going to learn this. And I had a little nest egg there from crypto, and I continued scaling it up. So, and now here we are. Okay, nice, Chris. You do make everything understandable. I appreciate that, Chris. And a few things like are quite difficult to explain. Like sometimes I will say something and it will be quite difficult to explain and convey. But I'll remember it and I'll try and come up with a way to convey it and make it easier to understand. So yeah. And if I do ever say anything which doesn't make sense to you in particular, it may make sense to 99 out of 100 people. But if it doesn't make sense to you, don't hesitate. Don't feel like, this should make sense to me, but like it doesn't. It makes sense to all these other people. I'm talking about like a specific concept. Just drop me a message and I'll try and word it in a way which you particularly understand. You know, every single person is different. Every single person learns in a particularly different way. So either at me on the Discord or drop me a message and I'll try and convey it in a way which works for you. Maximilian now. My granddad used to call me that when I was younger, Maximilian. Yeah, because I feel may have already mentioned it. No problem at all, mate. So, Sick, are you in the Discord, mate? If you are, at me and I'll send you through. I'll send it through. Adam, we've got a full-time support team. Adam did a great video, like an hour-long video breaking down Fu Manchu. And I think that video really does sum it up. That video, in combination with my course section on Fu Manchu, in combination with Craig's PDF in the educational resources section, I think sums up Fu Manchu perfectly. If you do want to get access to that, then just send me a message, say like Fu Manchu in all capitals on Telegram. I'll send you through the video that Adam did, Craig's PDF, and then I'll point you in the direction of the course video, which I've got on the Telegram channel in the courses section. I think it's like, I don't even know what part it is. I think it's like part 5 or part 6. Adam's been really helpful for me, so thanks to... Yeah, massive. I mean, Adam's been part of the group now for a good while, and I've seen him really come into his own this past 6 weeks. He's really come into his own. I mean, the videos he's been doing, like the live streams he's been doing, are really good. Been seeing some amazing feedback with him. If you are inside the private group and you haven't already had a call with Adam, he's crushing it. He's seeing how everyone else is doing as well, has a really good view on everything, understands the group very, very in depth. And so, having a call with him just to check in, see how things are, is a really, really, really good idea. And I do believe Jay's going to be hopping back on a lot more of the calls as well. At Christmas he was away with the missus in New York, spending a bit of those profits. He's made enough of them, so I don't blame him. And so yeah, he's gonna be back on the calls as well, which should be really good. And then also we've got something cool, very cool, gearing up with Craig. Now I know a lot of you really, really love Craig's stuff. He's been a member in the community for, I don't even know how long Craig's been in the community, but he's been absolutely incredible. And he's starting something, I believe, next week, which is going to be extremely personalized, really good. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that as well. That's going to be very, very good. He's done it for a few people already, and the feedback's been incredible. Paul, they have been done. It's just when I go live on YouTube, it resets the title. Actually, I'll change it after this. Thank you for reminding me, actually. It changes the title on YouTube to in-depth technical analysis or something like this. And so when I record a boot camp, that's what the title is. So I need to go back into the boot camp and rename the title, that particular section, and add it to the playlist. And I need to do that for the last few sections of the boot camp, so they're all in there. And going forward, I am going to do, I'm unsure how many. I think I'm going to do one long form, like vertical live stream a week, which is going to be sort of presentation similar to the boot camp, which is going to be breaking down one beginner trading topic. I might do the first one tomorrow, just in extreme detail. So literally going over like stop loss in extreme detail, take profit in extreme detail, basic support and resistance, just basics, okay? And just do like an hour-long presentation on that particular topic, doing like one live stream a week on that, which then will be turned into a video. And then also in collaboration with CDOG in the Discord, doing one video which is a very advanced one, mainly on like fundamental sort of market dynamics. And that's going to be one as well. So one will be very beginner focused, one will be very advanced focused. I think there's value in both regardless of experience level. And so that's going to happen going forward as well. Those will be in like the horizontal format, mainly like presentation sort of based, if that makes sense, like more formal. So that as well going forward, which should be really, really cool. And then we've got something else which is going on with Ting in the group. If you know about Ting, absolute legend. That's really cool as well. Craig is a legend. To be fair, all the educators are. You learn so much in this group. It's absolutely fantastic. Yeah, I completely agree with that, Alan. If you have had the pleasure to chat and talk to Craig, he's extremely knowledgeable, super nice guy. I love that Craig is just. He's just a normal guy in the UK, family man, and he just makes a shit ton of money trading, excuse the language. And yeah, he's just a super nice guy. So yeah, big shout out to Craig. If you ever have had the pleasure to talk to him, he's an amazing guy. And same goes for all of the educators as well. Been rewatching the boot camp, no other group doing this shit. Took your advice on no TP, just stop loss moving. Love it. Yeah, Jordan, really, really like that. And that's really, really good because it allows you to really squeeze that position. I did, that reminds me. I did put in the Discord earlier. I don't know how we got onto the topic of it. I put the video of my dad in, jamming out to D Goot's song, and my dad, who watches these lives, he's always on the lives, and he's actually got a really good trading knowledge. Whenever I speak to him, he's like, "Are we divergent? Are we getting the Fu Manchu divergences?" And he actually has really good terminology and really good like broad knowledge now. It's hilarious. And this is I say this in the most least cocky way possible. I don't want to sound like coming from a certain way. But my girlfriend wants to get into like buying and selling Birkin bags, like these really, really expensive bags. But apparently, I don't know, she likes bags, and then to convince me to get her to buy bags, she always says it as an investment. So whenever I buy something, it's not, oh yeah, you're buying this. It's an investment, Max. It's an investment. I'm like, what am I investing in? Me? And I'm like, what the hell? So it's an investment apparently. But these like Birkin bags, they do very well. And she was explaining it to my mum and my dad, and my dad was like, so basically what you're doing is you're going to be scalping a few bags, taking profits early, securing those profits, covering your downside, reducing risk. And then when you get offered a really good bag, you're going to hold that past take profit and really squeeze the most out of the position. And I was just like, you know what, Dad, I completely get it now. It was hilarious. It was so funny. Honestly. It was really, really funny. I hope that comes across I hope that makes sense. Yeah, it's so funny. Yeah, Jonathan. So I've changed the settings on the Fu Manchu a little bit. If we go into settings, the main thing I've done is just stripped it back. So when you first put it on your chart, it can be a bit overwhelming. So I've changed the money flow area multiplier to 300, and then just turned off a lot of the settings. You can pause this video and This video is like recorded and uploaded to YouTube after. I'll go through each setting and you can sort of see what's going on. I am gonna get rid of this light and put my charger in so it's charging. Your dad's cool. Yeah, absolute beast. Can buy some 88. Chris, I'm still being persuaded on that front. Yeah, you can buy some for 8k and resell for over 25. Yeah, like it's actually really, really. I'm not convinced. I don't understand how. I suppose they only like offer you certain bags. They've actually got a better ROI on them than like most investments. I think they average like 14 to 50 across the whole range. They average about 15% a year. Now, if you look at the market, the S&P averages around 10%, so it's outperforming the market, which is pretty cool. But I'm thinking if she wants to be a bag businesswoman, then by all means, go for it, I guess. Yeah. And I think that's a good thing. If you really understand the market going into it, and look, if she's turning 8k into 25k off each bag that she buys, she keep going. I'm more than happy with that. More than happy. Love that, Chris. Okay, I'll go through style. Gotta be careful asking for a bag. Yeah, that's the thing. One crazy thing, bit of a tangent on this one, but how is that a business? Okay, Hermes, the brand that do Birkins, you've got to like buy a ton of stuff from them. Like I'm talking, you got to spend serious money, and then you can get offered a bag, and chances are it's not the bag that you want. What? How is that a thing? And people genuinely do spend hundreds of thousands with them until they get offered the bag that they actually want. It's crazy, like crazy. But I bet there are a lot of people out there who do what my girlfriend wants to do and buy the bags and just resell them and make a lot of money. And yeah. Unless you know something. Yeah, I imagine that when you get into like every business, when it gets down to the nitty gritty, I bet like there's a, I don't know whether to call it insider trading, like, like is it insider trade? I don't know. It's a crazy world, that is. Crazy world. Yeah, Jordan, that's what I see as well. Because what happens if they offer you like a bright luminous green one? Like, what do you do then? Because if you say no, they won't get you another, like they won't give you another one. So it's like, yeah. Yeah. Went to Rome and women were spending 50, 60k on Louis Vuitton. Yeah, it is insane. And then one thing, I got a big shock last month. Some of you are going to find this quite funny. I didn't realize how much bags were, like women's bags. I didn't realize how much they were. And no one told me they were that much. What's going on there? And then, because you walk around Dubai and, you know, all of the sort of, I mean, a lot of the girls here have, you know, the bags. And then you start realizing how much, and you walk around and you realize, wait there, that girl's got a 300k bag. That one's like a 50k bag. That's a 200k bag. And it's like, what? I like to look at people's watches. I like to see what watches people have got on. I'm quite into that. I'm very, you know, curious at that. Now I'm walking around. I'm like, okay, that girl's got like a 300k crocodile bag on. Okay, that's got that, and I'm like, it's crazy. Krishina. Yeah, Jordan, I agree. Bags are like Ferraris. Got to buy the cheaper ones to get the big one. Yeah, very true. Yeah, now that you said that, Sam, I didn't think of it like that, but it literally is like that. Ferrari is exactly the same as Hermes. It is the exact same. Yeah, I mean that comparison is perfect. I don't know what's worse though. I couldn't spend that much on a bag, even if I had a good business idea. Though, yeah, I think that's why it's a lot of the best businesses. You know, the higher the investment, the better the return, just because the barrier to entry. Not everyone can get involved in that business, so the competition's a lot lower, margins are a lot better. Aldi bag and be happy. Yeah. I can't imagine though a lot of the women here and all the Emirati women. I can't imagine them walking around with Aldi bags. The bag for life doesn't really fit. Doesn't really fit in. I have a Breitling that cost me $650 to have service. Really? That I wear a Swatch now. Fair play, Chris. Can't beat a Swatch. Yeah, I wouldn't spend that much. Also, Katie, not on myself. Also to resell to a that thing. Only to resell to a yeah. I think that's like if you're in a position to get access to those things, then I think I don't see a downside in the business. But in terms of like buying it to use, I don't see a world, and no matter how much money you're making, to spend like 300-400K on a bag. I just don't, unless hundreds of millions to justify it. Oh yeah, it doesn't make sense to me. So back of the shopping, she was happy as anything, didn't have to use her pockets. There you go, Aaron. It's the little things. Hello, Ranking Turtle. Okay, nice, Chris. Okay, that's nice. Yeah, I agree with that, Bella. Ranking, so I trade mainly gold, but when Bitcoin looks good, I do trade Bitcoin as well. Mainly swings on Bitcoin when conditions are right. That's what I'm doing today. So going to do some higher time frame analysis on Bitcoin. It's been very, very stale, low volume for a long time. Not a long time, but a decent period of time now on Bitcoin. But now I think things are about to get pretty good. So going to do some high time frame analysis on Bitcoin, and then I do my analysis on gold on Sunday night, ready for the next day. I do go live every night, Sunday to Thursday, marking up the charts, come up with some nice levels for the next day. Bags for life. Go into the chip, wonder if they are worth something. John, start a bag for life resale business. I think there's some good margins in that. Okay, back to the charts. Bit of a tangent, but I think it's quite an interesting one nonetheless. Okay, so I am going to hide all of this. Hide these boxes. That's fine. Ace lighter. Love that, Chris. Okay, let's see what Bitcoin is doing. So took out this weekly high here, forming higher highs, higher lows. We still haven't broken market structure on the weekly time frame. Still in bullish market structure with higher highs and higher lows. I do really like this. We've already hit it. If we put it to there, let's put it to the daily time frame. See if we can get a more accurate trend line going. Okay, there we go. I do really like this trend line here. Let me pull it down a bit, move it up like that. There we go. I do really like this trend line here, retested those previous highs as well. But let's see what else we can come up with. I'm going to do, I'm just going to get rid of everything on the chart just to start completely from a fresh chart. I do have a lot of markings up on this chart, but we'll get rid of it. This may take a minute. I could clear the... Actually, is this... Let's do it like this. Easier. Perfect. Okay. Let's start on the weekly time frame. Let's see what we can come up with. So first off, let's mark up some trend lines. This is how I do my daily analysis. Daily analysis is the exact same to higher time frame analysis. It's just on a higher time frame. Okay, let's pull these up here. You see that we have broke this one. We're finding resistance there. Fu Manchu is looking bearish on Bitcoin. Momentum's coming down, money flow's coming down, VWAP's coming down. Everything's coming to the downside right now on Bitcoin, so it does look fairly bearish. Something to keep in mind. And then what we can do is also mark this here. Okay, that's good. Now let's drop to the daily time frame. Also, what I want to do is go on here and mark up the fixed volume range since we entered this range, which was back here, and see where the volume really is. Okay, that's nice. What's that? Chris Scratch here. Definitely. There was. I did want to do one with my dad. He was in Dubai a few months ago. I posted a picture of him in a Ferrari, which was cool. And yeah, so he was in Dubai, but we just didn't have time. Like, we had it was super busy when he was here, so we just didn't have time to really do a live. But soon, my dad will come onto a live, and he'll show you true analysis. Okay, he'll be marking it up crazy. So on live Saturday night, keep liking. Appreciate that, Katie. And any questions, please don't hesitate to let me know. So we've got nice trend line here, nice trend line here. Let's make sure this is accurate. Okay, that looks good. I'm also going to pull a fixed volume range across this bit of price action here. Something which is important as well, when marking up Bitcoin, I do think there's a lot of charts to mark up Bitcoin on, but to get the best volume data, I think marking up on Binance with the BTC USDT pair is the best. It's the most volume. It's where the most volume is transacted. So it's the best pair to get the most accurate volume data. So that's important to mention as well. Let's mark this up. Okay, so we got a new golden pocket there. Lines up with this previous low here and this trend line here. I mean, we can't really, session volume profile isn't really useful on this particular time frame because it's too high a time frame. I would like it if this was a bit lower, actually. What we can do is delete this. See where the 0.786 lines up in the 0.886. Okay, that's another level to keep in mind. So what I'm going to do, this is a prev low plus golden pocket plus trend. Yeah, one thing as well, on top of the beginners live and on top of the advanced live, I don't know how many times a week to do it. I'm pretty sure just once a week for the members spotlight. I'm going to get a member on the live. We're going to go through their journey so far, and then we're going to mark up a chart with them as well. So once a week, member, come onto the live if you're happy to do so, would be really cool. And then basically we'll run through your journey so far, see what problems you've run into, see what you've found success in, and then from there we'll mark up the charts together and do that. So that'll be once a week as well, and that'll be in the members spotlight section. I do think that'll be really important because live, they'll be able to, we'll be able to see, I'll be able to see really their mentality as approach the charts and hear it. So then I'll be able to better answer questions and better identify problems, which chances are other people are having problems with as well, if that makes sense. And plus, it's just cool to see, members of the community coming on and things like this. So that's really cool as well, which I'm really looking forward to. Okay, I like this as well. So, yeah, I need to find out when to do the CDARG Advanced live as well, because I got that presentation sent over today that I need to look through and sort of make into a live. So we'll see when that is when that comes out. Let me put this in here. Boo. There we go. Let me change the colors to green. So green, I'm looking for buys. Red, I'm looking for sells. There we go. Green, green, green. Perfect. That's good. I'm pretty happy with these two so far. If we drop these two, then it's really bad. Okay, now let's zoom into the 4 hour and look for these sells. The sells are what I'm really looking forward to because, again, overall, higher time frame Fu Manchu looks quite bearish. Yeah, Aaron, so how I got this golden pocket is, again, any questions like this, I'm more than happy to answer as well. And these are really important ones. So this golden pocket, I pulled from this low to this high. How do you know if a golden pocket is valid? The best thing to do is put a horizontal line or just mark the low. So it's this low here. I'm going to put the line just before it. Mark the low and mark the high. The low should be the lowest point and the high should be the highest point between the two lines. So between this line and this line, this low is the lowest point. This high is the lowest point. Therefore, I can pull my fib from this low, to this high, and it's a valid fib. Since this point here, after this line, that's where fib levels are going to be respected. If we take out the high after this line, the fib level is invalidated, okay? But from this line to this line, that's the lowest point, that's the highest point, that's where I've pulled the fib from. We haven't taken out the high since this green line, so the fib's still valid, and we haven't touched this golden pocket yet. Therefore, it's still very strong. Can you please explain the difference between a point of control and naked point of control? Yes, Jordan. So I'll do some examples on the chart as well. Let me just get rid of these two. Perfect. So a point of control is the highest volume node in a given range. I've marked up this range here. It's previous price action, it's previous consolidation. As we can see here, price went sideways. Yeah, we had that bull flag marked up in the group and it absolutely boomed from there. So that was actually a pattern that we had that I put in the group. But bull flag here, okay, consolidation, sideways price action, okay. When we return to that sideways price action, chances are the orders will be in a similar position. Chances are price action will respect similar levels. So what I did was I pulled the fixed volume range across this area here, just across this box of price action, okay, to gain this fixed volume range. Now, when we're in the fixed volume range, the point of control is the highest volume node. When we break out of a fixed volume range or any volume profile, when we break out from it, we've broke out from it here. When we come back to that volume profile, then the point of control, the highest volume node in that range, is a naked point of control. It hasn't been tested yet. So let me just go over that again. In this range here, the highest volume node is this red line here. It's where the most transactions took place. It's a very important level. When we broke out from this level, the point of control of this range is still the same, but the market hasn't tested it yet, okay? The market wants to test that level. So when we come back down to that point of control, okay, it's naked. It hasn't been tested. It's got no close on, okay? So when we come back down to it and we test it, chances are, because it hasn't been tested before, because it's a naked point of control, it will be quite strong. Let me know if that makes sense. Let me know if you want me to go over anything. Yeah, Chris, so the reason I think it's higher time frame bearish is because of this. So I'll pull this up. So I'll pull this up on Fu Manchu. So on Fu Manchu here, we can see that what is momentum? I'm going to connect the highs on momentum. These momentum waves here. So momentum wave here, momentum wave here. Momentum wave here, and momentum wave here. What is momentum generally doing? Let me know in the chat now. What is momentum generally doing? Being broken out of and come back to it in a nutshell. Yeah, we've broken away from a range. So we've got a range. We've broken out of that range. The highest volume node from that range is a naked point of control. When we come back down to that range and we extend it across, the previous naked point of control that hasn't been hit is a naked point of control. Once it's been hit, it's not a naked point of control. It's just a point of control. It's just a high volume node. Going down. It's going down. Okay? Now, if I trace out money flow, what's money flow doing? What's money flow doing? It looks like a wave. What's it doing? We'll go through each one. Still dropping. Yeah. And then also another thing, VWAP here. We'll have to zoom in for this one. VWAP, overall, we can see we've got a, I'll remove money flow quickly so you can see it a bit better. And you can use these on higher time frames, lower time frames, whatever. No, I removed VWAP. I meant to remove this. Overall, VWAP, this high here, this high here, this high here, this high here, this high here. If we connect the highs and we connect the lows, overall, VWAP is going down as well. So overall, momentum's going down, money flow, transactions are going down, volumes going down. Overall, everything's just heading in the downwards direction. And I'll move this down. And if we look when that's happened before, we'll drag this back up here. Okay. When money flow is heading to the upside, we can see money flow is heading up, volume is heading up, momentum's heading up. We can see if we just do the complete opposite, what's happening? Momentum, high, high, money flow, VWAP, okay? Everything's heading to the upwards direction, the complete opposite of what's happening now. What happens? We continue to rally up. How much is that? We continue to rally up, I mean, over nearly 200% from that position, okay? And again, we'll go here. So you can see money flow. Money flow is overall here coming down. VWAP is starting to curve down. You can see lower high, lower high. Money flow's coming down. Momentum's coming down. Price follows. Okay, on higher time frame, it's very, 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 very unlikely that money flow, momentum, VWAP, everything is heading in one direction and price doesn't follow. Especially on the weekly time frame. I mean, on the daily time frame and up, it's very rare that doesn't happen. So that's giving us a very strong bias to the upside. So yeah. Yeah, things are reducing. So I asked. So, Chris, the reason I pulled my fib from a low to a high is because I'm looking for areas of support. When I pull my fib from a high to a low, that gives me areas of resistance. So again, if you pull a fib from a low to a high, these are areas of support. If you pull your fib from a high to a low, these are areas of resistance. Let's continue to mark up some levels. I'm going to go into the daily time frame. Now we can see something interesting happening on the daily time frame. Red money flow starting to curve to the upside. VWAP's curving to the upside. Momentum has just made a higher high. This currently is a hidden bearish divergence right now. Could be okay. This could be interesting. So bearish pennant on Bitcoin, we've had an impulse move to the downside, bearish pennant. So bearish pennant is just after an impulse move to the downside, consolidation getting tighter, and then on top of that, momentum's going up, whereas price is going down. This normally indicates a continuation to the downside, so that's something to factor in as well. Yeah, looking quite bearish. Okay, all good, Chris. Okay, so let's mark up some other levels here. So we got some nice areas of resistance. I do want to pull a fixed volume range across this range here. I like to just pull them across range and see what they line up with. Okay, this golden pocket does line up with previous value area low. Let me pull this across so it lines up. There we go. So previous value area low plus golden pocket plus trend. Mark this. Mark this up. Got a wire across my desk, which is annoying. Okay, there we go. Excuse me. Okay, this is nice. Let me just make it red. Red levels, I'm looking for sells. Green levels, I'm looking for buys. Also lines up with a trend line. I do like that, actually. That's quite nice. Let's zoom into the 4 hour and see what's going on here. Again, just starting on the higher time frame, working our way down. I do like if something lines up with that previous low. Okay, this is really nice. Previous low here that lines up with the golden pocket and trend line. So previous low, when we get a low and then we break through it with substantial volume, chances are that level will be respected. So that's a level which I definitely want to mark up. Okay. So we've got golden pocket plus trend plus prev low. Boom. That's also a nice level. Now let's zoom into the 1 hour, see what's going on here. 1 hour price action just looks absolutely horrific. Doesn't look nice at all. We've already tagged this golden pocket. Yeah, no, I don't really like anything there. Too low volume. Okay, let me zoom out. Let me zoom out a bit so we can see what we've got going on. Perfect. There we go. Yeah, Jordan. That's absolutely. Yeah, this is Bitcoin, Benjamin. So yeah, I'll go over divergences, and these are the levels which I'm coming up with now for sort of higher time frame Bitcoin. So overall, on the weekly time frame, it looks very bearish. So expecting a further move down on Bitcoin in the coming few weeks. This doesn't mean just sell straight away. It means overall bias in the back of my mind is bearish. We do have a bearish pennant also formed on Bitcoin, which is something to keep in mind as well. So bearish pennant, bearish on the higher time frames. So that's definitely something to keep in mind. We do have these really nice levels here, two very strong buy zones, very, very, very strong. And then these two very strong sell zones as well. So I really like these. So going over divergences, I'll flick to a different chart. Oh, everything's got some form of analysis on. We'll go. Oh yeah, this was the, by the way, this was the exact pattern. I gave this exact pattern inside the group. So last time I did higher time frame Bitcoin analysis, I gave this cup and handle with this bull flag here and said, you know, chances are it's going to move to the upside from here. This is a very, very clear pattern, and it did boom by over 200% from there, which is really nice. So I'll go over a few examples of hidden divergences versus regular divergences. Yep, all good. So a regular divergence is basically when price is moving up and your oscillator is moving down. Or when price is moving down and your oscillator is moving up. They're diverging. They're going in different directions when they should be going in the same direction, okay? It's like tying a rope with two cars. When they go, tying a rope between two cars. When they're going in the same direction, all good. When one starts to veer off, okay, that rope between the two cars will pull them back together, okay? So that's basically what's going on, because your oscillator and price should align most of the time. When they do diverge, that can be a telling sign in what's to come on price. So we'll go over a couple of examples on like most recent price action. I mean, these are hidden bullish, sorry. So we'll go over hidden bullish first, actually, because there's a perfect clean example right here. So hidden bullish is when price goes up and momentum comes down, or when price goes down but momentum goes up, and that indicates a continuation. So we can see here, momentum has come down, whereas price has gone up. So you can see as price has gone up, momentum's come down. This indicates a further continuation to the upside. So if you had a level here, for example, and momentum was really low when you were hitting this level, you could say, okay, we're hitting the level and I'm also getting a hidden bullish divergence. Okay, so let me know if that makes sense. Price has gone up, whereas momentum has come down. This shows a potential continuation in price. It shows that a continuation is very likely. Yeah, this is a hidden bullish divergence. Yeah, hidden ones are very nice to look out for, especially because hidden divergences are going with the trend. They're trend continuation ones. Regular divergences are going against the trend a lot of the time. Hidden divergences are going with the trend. The trend is your friend, so they are really strong. A regular divergence is, let's see, okay, perfect one here. A regular divergence, let me just remove this. A regular divergence is when momentum, comes down, but price goes up. We can see here, price has gone up. Since this, if we put on this horizontal line here, and we put on this horizontal line here, momentum has come down. Price has gone up. What happens? We have a small reversal in price. But again, the overall trend is to the upside. This is why regular divergences aren't that good on the higher time frames, whereas hidden divergences are quite a bit nicer. We'll go over a few more examples of that happening. Obviously, there hasn't been much volume on Bitcoin, but we can see here, price has gone up, whereas momentum has gone down. We can clearly see from this high here to this high here, momentum has clearly gone down, whereas price has clearly gone up. So you could have shorted Bitcoin anywhere in this zone, anywhere, and caught a huge move to the downside. Again, showing how strong divergences can be. And again, even here, I mean, this one's not as strong. Let me know if this makes sense, guys. We'll go over a couple more examples. Regular divergences are easier to spot. I mean, here's a very, very, very clear one. Price has gone up. Momentum has gone down. Price drops through the absolute floor. And then from there, we have a momentum goes up, whereas price comes down, indicating a continuation in that direction, and price continues to go down. So price was going up, We got a divergence, momentum went down, whereas price went up, indicating they're out of line. Price dropped through the absolute floor. And then when price came up and had a sort of relief rally, didn't take out the high. Price came up, momentum went up, but the high, if we connect the highs, price came down, whereas momentum went up, indicating a hidden bearish divergence where price came through the floor again. We'll continue to go over a few examples. We can see here, momentum went up, whereas price went down, indicating a continuation in this bearish trend. And what happened? We fell through the floor. That's not a bearish divergence. Bearish divergence here. We can see price came down, momentum went up, indicating a potential reversal. What happened? Price absolutely boomed through the roof. Again, momentum came down, price went up. We had a rejection off the bottom. Very nice. That one's not one, unfortunately. This one will have been one on a higher time frame, but that's too high a time frame. No, it's not because volume dropped below the zero Eve. It literally is momentum was going in the opposite direction to price. That's basically what it's showing. If momentum is decreasing as price is increasing, that's literally showing us participants are less interested at this level. So chances are we're going to move away from that level and have a nice reversal. Again, hidden bullish divergence here. Momentum's gone down, whereas price has gone up. Price has gone up, momentum's come down. This is a very nice one. This is like beautiful setup. This is. I used to use these all of the time. When the first wave starts in red money flow and the second wave is in green money flow. So price has clearly gone to the upside. We started in red money flow. Now we're in green money flow. Momentum has come down, whereas price has come up. Like everything's just lining up for a continuation to the upside, as we did indeed have. The momentum indicator I use is called Vu Manchu, V-U-M-A-N-C-H-U. It's Vu Manchu. This is what I use. Vu Manchu plus Cypher B divergences. How you can use these confirmations and these divergences is a higher time frame analysis, looking at what's going on, just to give you an idea, forming your higher time frame bias. And then also on the lower time frames, when you approach a level, looking on your confirmation time frame for these divergences to form is a very good idea. For example, let's go on to a different chart. Let's go on to this chart. Here we go. Let me go on to the 3-minute time frame. Let's go all the way back. Okay. Exactly what we've just gone through. This was a level which was marked up live on YouTube. This was a level which was given in the private group. Super nice level. Okay. And what happened as we approached the level? Again, I literally went to the first example. Okay. Just a random example. What happened? Momentum was diverging. We can see it here. Look. Before we hit the level, momentum was coming up. It's a small divergence, but still it's a divergence. Momentum was coming up as we were coming down. Not as we hit the level, but as we were coming down, momentum was going up. That shows, okay, we're coming into a level, we're diverging, chances are it's going to be strong. And then as we hit the level, diverged again, and then price absolutely boomed. So there's a perfect example that was actually given in the group. No problem, Jordan. No problem. Eve, so A hidden divergence is a trend continuation pattern. So I'll just draw it on. So here, this is price. Price is going up. This is our oscillator, okay? So our oscillator. Our oscillator normally goes up and up, okay? With price, you can see, let me just remove. Lows are getting higher, highs are getting higher. We're in an uptrend, okay? Does that make sense? The indicator and the price are going in the same direction. Both forming higher highs, both forming higher lows. Let me know if that makes sense first off, and then I'll continue walking it through there. So again, price going to the upside, forming higher highs and higher lows. Momentum, your oscillator, whatever oscillator you're using, is forming higher highs and higher lows as well. Let me know, Eve, if that makes sense. Make sense? Okay, perfect. So what would form a hidden bullish divergence from here if the oscillator came down below this low? The oscillator has come down, momentum has come down, but price has gone up. Excuse me. This indicates a strong, strong probability for a continuation in that trend. Okay? So, and then once we have that continuation and price continues to go to the upside, then what we could see is price form a high here. This is price. Price has formed another high. But what happens? Okay, let's do this quite a bit higher. What happens here? The oscillator this time hasn't formed higher highs, but price has formed higher highs. This shows that momentum is decreasing, but price is still increasing, showing that we are due a pullback. And then price continues to the downside. And then what we could see here is price form a pullback. The oscillator from there, the oscillator sharply pulls back to here, and then it goes up really far. This is the oscillator. Oscillator makes a higher high, whereas price makes a lower high, indicating a continuation to the downside. Okay, nice DB. Let me know if that makes sense. And again, guys, if you do want any more information on the private group as well, where you gain access signals to the exact trades that are being taken, analysis, courses, full community access to the full Discord, boot camp, like resources that you really can't find anywhere else in the trading space. And not only that, we've got the unbelievable Trustpilot reviews, completely transparent. Anyone can join this and type anything in the chat. No other group allows you to do that. Everyone's just filtering comments and deleting everything. And they're just not showing you anything really at all, and they're just lying to you. If you want to know like the truth of trading, actually get a genuine in-depth guide in trading and genuine support in trading, then the private group is the way to go. Appreciate that, Katie. Yeah, like always, I'll send what I'll do is this the chart that I marked up? Yeah. What I'll do is, like always, I'll save this. I'll copy the link and I'll put it in the educational resources section now. So if you click on this link in the educational resources section, you'll gain access to, where is the educational resources section? Okay, there we go. Actually, I'll put it in the technical analysis section. Link to chart. There we go. I don't know why it sends for gold. I'll try and get that sorted after this. It should send it for Bitcoin. If you click on that, it should, in theory, take you to the Bitcoin one. Okay, guys. Anyway, we're going to finish up there. Hope everyone enjoyed this this live stream. I'm going to try and go live near enough every day in 2026. Just answering in questions, marking up the charts. I really enjoy doing the lives, and I think each live, a new, nuanced question comes up, which hasn't come up before, which I can answer, and hopefully that question that's answered, that one thing sparks the profitability journey for you, which I really hope it does. Anyway, guys, have an amazing rest of your weekend. Hope you've enjoyed it. I'm really happy with a lot of the questions today. Really, really, really nice work, guys. And yeah, take care, guys. Have an amazing rest of your weekend, and I hope you're looking forward to rinsing the charts next week. See you in a bit, guys. Take care. See you in a bit, Lee. See you in a bit, Yusuf. See you in a bit, Xavier. Like always, Aaron, Matthew, Katie, Chris, like always, Nara, Krishina, Lady H, Eve, Drama, Chris. Take care, guys.